Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and yes, I'm still sanitizing my hands for the COVID. Actually, we caught the COVID, and I lost all sense of taste and smell, and then I found it again, and I lost it, and I had this really bad thing, and then I realized it was probably all in my head. Actually, no, we didn't get COVID, and I'm going to quit making fun of it now, because probably why I'm shadow banned. Anyway, we're going to do a video about how we pair our animals. You guys have already seen what these clips are for, so now you're going to get to see them kind of in action. And so we're going to pair a lot of the ones with clips today, and then we're also going to use this handy dandy, do we already grab it? No, blue marker. And the blue marker, don't worry about it. This is just so I know what I already filmed. Nothing for you to worry about. But let's get started. So first up is going to be our Super Pastel Lesser. Now she's just had a shed in there. Not her best one. So I'll set her on the table. And while I'm talking about her, I'll go ahead and clean a few things out. We'll probably try to show you 5 or 6 pairings. This also is a great chance for us to show off adult snakes, which I know doesn't happen very often. And we'll go ahead and get a little moisture in there while we're at it. Woo! Woo! When you got your hose in the wrong setting, that's what happens. So what this snake is it's a Super Pastel Lesser, which means it is a homozygous pastel. It's going to make pastel every time we breed it. And it's also got lesser in there. So it's a pretty good animal. It'll never make a normal, but it can never recreate itself. So what would we want to stick with this? What do we want to see happen? Well, obviously, we're playing a lot with Blitz. So we are going to stick our male Blitz in there. Now he's right here. I don't know why he's all coiled up, but he is. So he's going to go in there. Hopefully we get some action. As you can see, again, like in the video, the clip goes to the middle. So now we know what's happening for film purposes later. Blue dot. So we're going to come over here. See if I can't get this girl out. Now she is in shed. So some folks are going to say, well, can you breed a ball python that's in shed, or you shouldn't do it? Let me tell you, I don't think they worry about that in the wild. We'll go ahead and do it. They may choose to lock, they may not. I'm not sure what this girl's going to do. Obviously, settle down, girly. You know, she is pretty thick in the back, and she did not go last year. So she could be building, I just missed it, but I don't think so. So we are going to go ahead and pair her. Now, who is she pairing with? She is a straight ghost female, straight ghost. So she is going to pair with our, he is not over here, he's over here. Sorry, I'll be right back. Oh, do I need that? I think he's over here. Maybe. This is why we should prep better with our videos, and I did not do a very good job of that, and that is on me. Super inchy vanilla ghost is what we're looking for. So did I just miss it? How do you know this? And oh, there it is. I looked right at it. So this will be the male we're using. This guy right here, a super inchy vanilla ghost. So what that can do is it can make us some ghosts, obviously, and it can also make us ghosts that have inchy. Actually, the worst thing we can make on that pairing is an inchy ghost. And on down there, bumblebee het clown. Now she's a killer bee. Before we get started, I'm gonna give her a little more moisture and a little more water. This is also, when you're doing pairings, a great time to just kind of do a little cage maintenance, right? Blah, blah, blah. And she actually could use a full clean, but she's not gonna get it right now because I have found that sometimes pairing goes a little bit better when you keep things a little bit, you know, smelly. So we're going to do that. She will get it after this pairing. I guess I can. More so showing this guy. This is our visual. Now I'll show you something cool. This is not a small female I'm going to show you. You want to come out, baby girl? She's right here. Look at the difference in size. People will tell you that the male's always smaller. The male's usually smaller. This is the male. This is the female. Her being het clown, we can produce visual clowns here. You're looking to breed my my arm. Let's not do that. And this guy here is obviously a visual clown. Get on in there, buddy. So we'll put them together. Hope for some best. All right, he did just shed too. Has a little piece on his back, but shouldn't be a problem for this. Here you can see we have a silver tab. That tells me I'm supposed to catch up now over there. So we will go ahead and do that because this male had his week off. and he did eat during that week. So now we're going to use a Pastel Lesser male. We bought this as a Pastel Lesser sulfur. It does look a little funky, but I haven't really seen that carry through, you know, but that's okay. And again, this female is also in shed. I'll show her to you, give you an idea of what her plans are here. And again, this is a Blitz. You can really see the pattern. That's the female Blitz I produced and held back off of my original male. Mix all that up in there. Yep, there we go. And so when she's not in shed, she's a lot better color, but you can see a lot of the original Blitz pattern, why we chose her. Good examples there through there. She is very dark right now. That's not common. And our hope is that we can make some lesser Blitz to kind of see how that looks, along with some pastel Blitz, and just get some more Blitz going in general. So we'll take the silver tab off, so we don't need it to mark where we're at anymore, and bammo, right? And then we're also going to go down to this Pastel Axanthic male, or sorry, female. I said male, I don't know why I did that. I'll pull her out for you. She's now going to get a little bit of cage maintenance really quick while Kurt's showing you guys her. So she is a nice big girl, and she had, yes, this is one of my Pastel Axanthics that did have a clutch last year, so she's a proven female. She is not really that old. These were born in 17, so this being 20, this will be the 21 season. You know, we're sitting there at 4. This is one of the reasons why we like to wait till a certain age or 3 years, because we did that with her, and you can see that it's paid off, because this year right now, I would say she's much bigger than she was last year, and she had a nice clutch for us last year. I don't remember the exact number of eggs. It was probably somewhere around, I think, 8. So she did very, very good. You know, no complaints there. And she's going to be going to a new male this year. So I wanted to use my proven new male I got on her. Don't let her fall now. So let me put her back up, and I'll show you that male. You can see, nice, thick, healthy girl. Definitely ready to go again. All right? And she's going to be paired with a male we just recently got. He is a proven breeder, and he is feeding for us. He's a little bit thin during breed season, but he gets some time off in between, and he is, like I say, eating meals and doing really good and just fresh shed. This is a Killer Bee Axanthic, so Spider Super Pastel SK Axanthic. So when we put these two together, we're going to get the worst a Pastel Axanthic. We have a good odds at Super Pastel Axanthic and more of these. So we'll set him in there. Say, get it done, buddy. Close that up, slide that over. Good to go, right? Let's do one more, just for fun. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Why didn't you yell at me, man? We didn't blue dot those, and I'll get all off. One more, you think, Kurt?
Sure.
One, we'll call it a bonus one, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we've done. We'll do one more bonus, and let's show a fun one here. So this is, I need to maintain you two. So let me put you up there. Now this snake here is an Orange Dream Pastel, right? There, stay there. So this is one that we held back. We produced ourselves in-house. Really nice looking snake. This is just the Orange Dream. Oh, sorry, it is just the Orange Dream. We did not produce it. She has a little bit of, it's really dry this time of year, so we're going to have to work on more overall humidity. So she does have just a little bit of retained shed I'm looking at now, I'm seeing on her tail, but nothing that should be an issue. So we may actually soak her before we pair her. Yeah, I'm going to, girly. You're going to need a little bit of moisture before I pair you. So I'm going to end up giving her a little bit of time off, and you'll run into that. But what we'll do to help that situation, before we'll go through and soaking her, because soaking a ball python is not a bad thing, but if you can avoid it, it's better to avoid it. And what we find this time of year is things tend to dry out a little faster than normal. And even when it's not dry, because hers a little low on humidity in here, but not extremely low. You need a hand, Kurt, you're doing all right over there. So when you're running low on humidity, one thing that people will do that doesn't tend to help is they'll mist. Misting gets nothing done, not with this type of litter, because it's still going to be dry underneath. It'll look like you put a lot of moisture in there, and you didn't. If you look at how much hose spraying we're doing, And I'll show you in a minute why. Now I want to be pretty wet in here because I want her to get that shed off. So let me show this. We'll do this instead of another pairing. So if one looks, I know, girl, this looks completely and utterly, sorry, did I bump you? You want to go back in there? Not yet, you don't. Soaked, looks too wet. Most people look at that and say, oh man, that is horrible. Get that out of there, get this out of there. But let me show you what happens. When you go and you spray this much water and this kind of fine coconut, we'll go there and get some of that shed off. She is getting, I'm not going to worry about doing it too crazy because we're going to have to go through all this once we get this shed off anyway. And you start to mix it, you're going to see that this coconut absorbs the water so well. But with that, when it gets packed down, you'll get dry layers. Then when you put a lot of water in there and it looks like you have enough, you're going to find you really don't. So that looks pretty good, but it looks soaked before. I could actually probably use a little bit more. She's licking my ear. We'll let her try that out for size and see how that does. But the point is, when you see a lot of water getting put in, you can see how much better it gets. And it's also not a problem to help peel the snake's shed if it needs it, but it should come off rather easy. See when I drag my thumb? It's not, part of it did, but not a lot of it. That means she needs some moisture to help get that off. So I don't want to sit there and force it unless places it's easy. All right, you ready to go back in? Ugh. So what we'll do is we'll give her a day or so in that moisture, and we'll see how she does. And if it doesn't come off, then we'll do a soak. But with that, we'll show you another one. Now this one shed fully. So I'll set her on this table. Look at that. So that is our bumblebee. Now even though this snake shed, we're still going to add some more moisture to it because again, your heater's running. That's the season you fight. And this is kind of how we do things too, is when you're moving the snakes anyway, it's as good of a time as any to do some work. So what that is our in-house bumblebee. It's one of the first snakes we kept back. It dates back to 2015, which was our first season producing. So it's got a lot of love for this snake. She did not produce last year, however, and that was her first year not producing for me since she got to be big enough to produce. So she's been pretty solid, but with the move, we had some that, you know, I don't know if it was a little bit extra stress or what, they just did not go. She was one of them. So with that, this year, let me put her back, and I'll tell you what we're going to pair to her. We're going to stick another bumblebee. No, I'm kidding. Never do spider to spider. Spider to spider is bad. We're going to do our Lemon Blast Scaleless head. So what we're really looking for here is getting some, you know, killer bees and some killer spins and some killer blast in Scaleless head. So this little guy here has been a bulletproof breeder for us. He's made us quite a few clutches, although we're not working him quite as hard this year as in the past. I think he only has 2 girls he's going to, but give you a look at him. And the reason for that is, you know, some people get into a project looking at money, right? I get into a project looking at, ooh, I want to make that. So we didn't get into Scaleless for money. So the whole drop in the Scaleless market, I mean, that wasn't, as far as like Scaleless head and price, that wasn't a surprise. We anticipated that when we bought ours. We did a few clutches, and we bred them pretty hard, not to try to say, oh, I want to flood the market. We did that to get the Scaleless heads we wanted to hold back. And now I've got several Scaleless heads I'm growing up, and when they're ready, he's got some girlfriends and another one has a girlfriend. So right now, he's got a few that we're doing just to see what we get, but we're not breeding him super hard because his time's going to come in a couple of years because we really want to make a Scaleless. It was more about what we want to make and not all about how quick can we turn a profit. So we've also never bred him to that many females in 1 year, just to not overwork him. Kurt, anything you want to add?
No.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. As you can see, we don't pre-plan when we film because who else shows you a bad shed? But I guarantee you, any collection this size, you're going to have them. You are. It's part of it. It sucks. It's easy to fix, but you're never going to have complete perfection. You're going to have a bad shed or two. It is what it is. All right, if that's all you got, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.